the atmosphere was full of hostility on the streets, inside the 7-Eleven, at the corner Dollar General. Wherever you went in my town, you can feel the tension based upon the representation by CBS, NBC, and ABC, CBS, and NBC. It left us confused because as a mature man, we don't want to say elderly, we want to say mature man in the community, we have seen our criminal justice system in its finest hour by the Caucasian's perspective. But I have never in my years as a black man, as a black father, as a black serviceman, as an aerospace worker, and a believer in the conscious idea that black American lives matter too, have never seen such a disgraceful exhibition than the one I seen by the judge. A more disgraceful exhibition have I ever seen by a pseudo leprechaun who rents his skin and calls itself a bailiff. I have never in my life seen a person humble themselves and say that I am going to truly believe in the Christian way and have forgiveness in my heart. In my life, forgiveness has always meant that I'm not going to put my hands on you, that I will look the other way as you defame me and you belittle me, or you embarrass me, or you take from me, which is most precious to me, and that's the life of one of my loved ones. I believe in my heart that Christianity is within me. But at that point, in front of that 7-Eleven, I could not find God's graces. Because to me, as a black American, not as an Afro-American, maybe the Afro-American sees that court hearing, that verdict, that sentencing as a form of reality TV, that it should be nurtured as part of our society. But to me, as a black man, not an Afro-American, there is a distinct difference. I was left flabbergasted, just lost in the things that I heard and I viewed. America is a fantasy at times. And what we viewed in the verdict hearing and the sentencing hearing was a fantasy. Nowhere does you kill my brother and he do nothing to you, do I forgive you from the jury stand. Nor do I ask the judge to come off the stand to give you a hug. That's his prerogative, because from what I understand, and I researched each and every one of those stories they told about this, that he had wrestled with it prior to going in there and in the grieving process. I'm going to call it a grieving process because it's not a victim process, right? If it was a victim process, all of Black America would have an opportunity to speak, because he was our brother. Even though he was Caribbean, he was skin folk that was kinfolk. You understand? So I reached back inside myself to try to figure out what was really going on. I dealt with the fact that he wanted to find Christian kindness inside himself and not having to deal with the torment and the pain for the rest of his life of hating her. But when you look at the numbers, the sentencing numbers of this country, that heifer will be out in less than 5 years. Less than 5 years. She admitted that she was not going and not tried to give him any life saving methods. She agreed that the only thing that she was most concerned about was her sexing and her job. They even showed in text messages how she felt about getting paid during the Martin Luther King parade that she had to work. She made it perfectly clear the separate life that she was living other than the level of humanity she's supposed to have as a law enforcement officer. She killed someone in their home, someone who was not bothering her, that never encroached upon her life, who never hindered her life in any way. But she took his. And it's supposed to be some glorious kumbaya Oprah moment where black and white and the judicial system has some level of compassion. I ain't never seen a bailiff stand there and comb a defendant's hair. It's just mind-boggling. It just blew my mind how she sit there and made her pretty. Never seen it. I ain't never seen a black bailiff do it for a black person, but this black bailiff did it for a white person who killed a black person who was not even bothering them. I was made to feel as a person who was viewing this as she was the victim. That John Paul, JB, or whatever you want to call him, he interrupted her life by being in his house and not following her command. So that gave her right to take his life. I have never been so disgusted as a black American in my life. But I can truthfully say this from my feeling, that it's got to be a check in the mix somewhere in this. No one acts that way if some money has not been put on the table already. And you know how well we are to posse up to collecting them checks when they kill our people in the streets. How willing we are to forgive, but they have less empathy for you, to the point that they will even just shoot into a car with kids in it and say that they fear for their life. They're always hiring these people who fear for their lives. It doesn't make any sense to continue hiring people who fear for their lives. And to watch the unions put a spin on it to try to justify, well, we're doing the right thing. You don't get no points for doing the right thing. That's your job to do the right thing. So you're saying to the American public, all this time, law enforcement has not been doing the right thing. Amber Guyver is a disgrace. I watched my community march on Sunday morning asking for civility and peace and understanding and Christian kindness. These are worthy of standing words. But it must be a dual coming to understanding, a joint coming to understanding. If you spend your life always asking, say, well, we're going to keep Christ first. You have to believe and you have to know in your heart that the person in which you're dealing with know who Christ is, even believe that he exists. This can't go on. She will go to jail, and in less than 24 hours, another police officer will murder another person in the streets. They look at it as a game. They hide within the unions and the court systems to justify their wholesale murder. And it's saddened to think that the court system is playing along with this game instead of doing their job and treating everyone equal. Amber Garber wasn't treated equal. She was treated special. And then the psychological damage, I can't really say is on the part of her brother, her mother, and her sister. I can't say that because they're not Americans. They're from the Caribbean. And unfortunately, my Caribbean brothers see the white Caucasian of the Americans somewhat different. He has a disdain for him. At the same time, he has an overwhelming love for him. And he just confused. I think that most black people in America suffer from Munchausen syndrome. Yes, look that up. It is a real thing. Munchausen syndrome is a real thing. And it scares me as a black American how willing we are to forgive people who are killing our children, who are killing our fathers, who are killing our mothers, who are doing horrible jobs, who are assisting other criminals in committing murder and doing it behind their uniforms. And there's an emerging story getting ready to come out of Detroit that has been out there for about 2 years of a young lady who was carjacked. And because she wanted to testify and because she wouldn't take any money, they killed her in her driveway. And now it's coming out that the police officers of the county which she was carjacked in assisted these individuals in the wholesale murder of this young lady in her driveway. The police. But it should not be strange to us. The day will come, and it's already been foretold by Dick Gregory. It's already been foretold by Malcolm X. It's already been foretold by Marcus Garvey. And it already been foretold by Lincoln that one day that the same individuals that you oppress, they will no longer greet you at the door with an olive branch, but they will meet you at the door with a sheaf. And I pray that that day I do not be here. And that's not even proper English, but I pray that day I do not be here. Because I could not bear to see black and white alike suffer the slings and arrows because we cannot get a competent justice system. A justice system which we spend millions and millions and millions of dollars each year to maintain, because that's the standard order of a civilized society. It hurt my heart to know that that's the best we can do when we face with clear murder that is turned into a reality TV show for ratings, because that's what that was. And I'm going to pray for John's mother, and I'm going to pray for John's brother, because he has great challenges to face for the choice that he made to forgive that individual, I'm gonna be nice, who killed his brother. I couldn't find that much Christian kindness in my heart. Even though I love the Lord and I know He's the best thing smoking, I can't see it. I can't, not the way he was killed. Not the things that she said and the things that she did and how she reacted. All of it. You understand how the union and the police department tried to portray him as he was doing something wrong to her because he didn't follow her orders in his house. And I'm I just don't know what to say. I've never ever seen anything like that in my life. If any individual out there who is at the that can hear my voice, if you've seen anything like that, if you participated in anything like that, please share with us, because this is an Oprah moment that Black America is going through. The Afro Americans, they accept it as part of life because they grew up with reality TV. Every aspect of their lives that they're watching is properly staged for them, like a TV sitcom. So they're accustomed to this behavior. They're accustomed to what was viewed. They're accustomed to the reports that were put out by ABC, NBC, and CBS, and CNN, and Fox Network. So I want to say some pristine for the history books, if it ever came to that. But all I can say is that I have never, ever in my life have ever seen anything like that. It was unreal. It was like watching a dream. As I watched the bailiff comb her hair and make sure she was pretty, I was waiting for the bailiff to go in the back room and get her makeup kit too. It's like they was prepping her for the hug moment. And then I've seen a lot of judges do a lot of things, but I've never seen a judge come off the bench with a Bible. Give a person that she just gave 10 years for murdering another individual a hug and tell her that she gonna help her find Jesus. When that heifer got locked up and they put her finger in the black ink, she should have found Jesus right then. It's hurtful. It's confusing. It's a whole litany of words that I could use to describe it, but never find a word to say what it was. And it's just more than anyone could bear in watching. So this is my take on it. But we need to examine what occurred in this John case. We really need to examine how we address death of a black person and what the black person's life is really worth. Because these are strong messages. These are strong images that are being portrayed. And I don't believe that they're correct. I want to find love and kindness and forgiveness in my heart, but the list is too long and getting longer each and every day. And the ones who were not even allowed to be put on the list because some white officer forged some paperwork or planted some evidence or lied to his superiors or intimidated another officer. These individuals are gangsters. They're criminals. And when they're faced with held accountable for what they did wrong, then they become victims. Let me just quote a white police officer. Oh, I done heard that shit before. Stop faking. Too many times and too many reports I done seen officers saying, oh, you're just playing. You're just fabricating this up. Well, her remorse was only fabricated. Her feeling guilt, ill feelings of what she did is all an illusion. The police, they tell you how they feel. If you telling them that you can't breathe because he choking you to death, then you faking. If he tell you you can breathe because you're talking, this is how they feel about you. So to see this in a courtroom was insulting, was hurtful, and even though it's his people business, it's his family's issue, I still feel a connection to it. But there's got to be a check in the mix. In white society, a check for the death of your loved one is the great equalizer that starts the foundation of forgiveness. And usually forgiveness for black people start with $1 million on up. Okay? I'll say something nice about you if you'll go and offer me $1 million. When I go in front of the cameras, I'll say that I forgive you, and I will put it in the Lord's hands, and I'm going to say all those Christian-like things to give the impression that black people like being killed. That if you kill a black person, that we ain't going to do nothing but forgive them, and we'll get in front of the TV and we'll get down on our hands and knees because your misunderstood Bible, which has already came out, is up in the archive that the Bible has been tampered with, not 4,000 years ago, but tampered with within America. America had 2 Bibles. One Bible for white people and one Bible for black people. And this is a true fact. So I'm just going to take it that John Paul people got a hold to a bad Bible. Right? Because the white people Bible say an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But the Bible that black America uses says that you're supposed to continue turning the cheek. The left cheek, the right cheek, the lower left cheek, the lower right cheek. And while I'm down there, I'm going to bend over backwards. I'm going to kiss my own ass because that's the only one that's going to kiss anything around here. It's a concern that Afro-Americans do not really understand what they're so accepted of, what they're so willing to give forgiveness to. There is no forgiveness out of an officer that holds a person down and with a taser put it on his testicle and torture him. And then as he torturing him, a law enforcement officer says, how that feel? It feel good because I ain't finished yet because I got a whole pocket full of batteries. This came out of a law enforcement officer's mouth. When law enforcement officers say while they're arresting a 6-year-old child that it's never been done before, but it's going to be done today, and that same officer is the same color of that child, there's something wrong. If that child would have came up dead in his custody at his trial, I could guarantee you this, there wouldn't have been no fix of his hair. It wouldn't have been no forgiveness from the family. It wouldn't have been no judge came down off of no bench to bring him no Bible. And we can't really be sure which Bible that she gave Miss Amber. We don't know if she gave Miss Amber the white Bible or she gave Miss Amber the black Bible. But we just going to assume since that Bible was in the hands of a black woman that she had the tainted Bible in her hand that she was given to Amber. So she wanted to lead her to the road of Christianity through that Bible. All right. And it's all good because you're supposed to forgive people. That's what the Bible say. If you want to get in heaven, all that, that's what the Bible say. I went to Sunday school that day too. But really, I mean, I can't even find the words trying to stay within the right side of God so I don't seem like some heathen, some animal who has no empathy and grace in his heart. And it's hard when you look at these law enforcement officers to see any grace and empathy in their heart. It's just confusing, right? It is very confusing. In our hearts, we're supposed to find solutions for this. We need to reach out to our brothers and sisters and ask their opinions and ask what they're feeling. Because for the next 30 days, Black America will go through a post-traumatic stress syndrome about this case, about the outcome of this case. And some Afro-Americans will say, oh, it's over, it's done, it's in the past, and everybody forgave everybody. Until the next time. And it's coming. And it's coming sooner than you realize. So prepare yourself for that form of reality TV again. Prepare yourself to watch John's family disappear from the scene. But rest assured that it's a check in that disappearing act. These people are not going to disappear without that check. And it's always the same two Black attorneys who always advocate this kumbaya moment. But Black America never asks them to come and have them interviewed and ask them why they not saying anything about this. They're just collecting money and doing their job. It's sad. It's sad. And there will be more murders. And there will be more law enforcement officers who will go in people's houses without warrants and kill people and say that they have a right to do that. That they have a right in your home without a warrant. They will have a right to come in your home for whatever reason. Kill you being Black, eating ice cream in your own house in the dark. Or kill you while being Black, going to the wrong house. They're trying to make it the norm. They're trying to minimize what your life is really worth. That in 10 years, his life is worth more than 10 years. That's no deterrent to no white supremacist or no road rage police officer or some confused kid who believe that he gonna bring back white America. When you look at the sentencing guidelines and knowing that in less than 5 years she will be up for parole, that she will walk out of jail and do less than 5 years. That's what a Black life is worth. A white life is worth you going to jail for life for selling marijuana. A white life is worth more than your life. They're telling you a white life is worth more. The bailiff is telling you a white life is worth more than yours. The judge is telling you a white life is worth more than yours. the confused immigrant who make it purely clear that he's not black, he Caribbean, that his own blood's life is only worth 5 years. 5 years. That's what I said. Media say she get 10, but in actuality, she gonna do less than 5. And she gonna be put in special treatment. She gonna be put in special cells. She gonna have 24-hour protection. She gonna have all the niceties. Trust. Because the question is, all these law enforcement officers who've been convicted of violating of these laws, where are they at now? Are they in general population, or are they put on special wards with other police officers who did this? You don't see CBS doing no, where are they now on these law enforcement officers from North Carolina to Boston, to Cleveland, to Florida. Nobody's going back and saying, well, let's go see what these officers are doing. Let's see if they're doing basket weaving in prison. They're not in general population. They're treating quite well. They still are allowed to keep their accreditation. See, you and I, only accreditation that we're allowed in America to have is the right to work. And if you piss Mr. Charlie off through his judicial system, he'll give you a felony, which is your accreditation. Your right to work is taken away from you. That if you break the law, every aspect of any decent part of your life is taken away from you. But because they're white, when they break the law, they still get to go on and have another life. Ask in America, the 4.5 million black men, do they get a chance? Are they given forgiveness? Is Christian kindness given to them? And do they have the ability to go on and have a life afterwards? Do you see any white families up there going to prisoners and saying, you killed my mother, I forgive you because I go to the Greater Southern Christian Conference Church down the road, and my Bible say I'm supposed to forgive you. Their Bible say that they want their power in the flesh, that an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But the slave Bible that you were given, which they have already admitted that the judge had already had her copy of that slave Bible that she took to Amber. Hear what I'm saying to you. The same slave Bible that Mr. Paul had in his hand, because you got to keep in mind in America, there's 2 Bibles. Our own government has already admitted that there are 2 Bibles. The one that's supposed to be original and the one that they doctored, the one that they deleted, the one that they put certain things in there. The question is, should we go up to that judge, should we go up to Judge Paul's brother and ask them what copy of the Bible do they have? That's the real question. But the things I saw were just totally disgusting. Brought tears to my eyes when I seen that black woman bailiff with that gun stand there and comb that witch's hair. Fix her hair and make her pretty for the camera. It's like they knew that she was going to run up to that boy and do a kumbaya Oprah moment. It was disgusting. And the bailiff, hate to see a sister on the unemployment line and back to her natural behavior on food stamps and public assistance, but that heifer need to be on food stamps and public assistance. She don't need to be no bailiff. The judge, she can do us all a favor. She can take off her black robe and put on a white robe, and then she could act like she was acting like her people. Because I can guarantee that if you dig real deep into that judge's history, that she is part of the Bole. You can guarantee that she was part of the Bole. And you can go and you research her, and you will find that she got Negro college grads in her family, that she come from that legacy, and then you'll know why she took the slave Bible down from her perch, the chicken that came home to roost. She came down off of her perch to share her Negro Bible with Miss Amber Guyver. Now, Miss Guyver, she done sweated the bullet, because they're going to treat her the whole 5 years like she the victim. And John Paul and they're going to live a nice, quiet life, because I'm guaranteeing you this, the union going to make sure that John Paul mama get a check one way or another. The union going to make sure she got a check if she ain't already got the check. Because that's the only reason anybody would put on the performance that those people put on. And I'm not taking anything from their grace. I'm not taking anything from their forgiveness. I'm not taking anything from their confusion. But I can't find that much forgiveness in my heart. I can't find why I should forgive her. Right? And I don't want the version from your Negro Bible. I want the version from your white Bible. Okay? Because your white Bible tell you not to forgive her. The Bible that they had in the archives in Washington, D.C. tells you to forgive her. All those pseudo-Christians, this is the part where I get an infomercial. All you pseudo-Christians out there that's playing the game with God, if you really believe in the word that you read, if you really believe in that word that you believe, if you believe the teachings of those wayside preachers, holler at a brother. Okay, because I need you to explain to me the difference between the Negro Bible and the white Bible. Because in that, we'll be able to share it with the John family. Because that's your right as a person of color to lean on anything that you feel is going to get you through this. But, Miss Guyver, please don't come in my house. Please don't come to my door. Don't come in my house lost and confused and with a booty call on your mind with somebody else's husband. That's why I don't understand. These two black women, they know this heifer up there try to trick with somebody else's husband, sexing and texting how long she been doing it, whoever else husband she done slept with. And they just felt like, well, we're all women together. And we should have compassion on it. Man, come on now. Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. So, I'm going to pledge to each and every one of you with truthful heart and without any transgressions that I'm going to go to church the second Sunday of October. And I'm going to ask the Lord to help me understand what I just saw. I'm going to ask the Lord to help explain to me clearly the hidden message that young man shared on ABC and his explanation of his forgiveness and hug to her. Because somewhere along the line I heard the words, but I didn't read between the lines. And I missed the message that he was trying to give. I just can't see it. I can't see it. Now I'm going to go to another direction, a direction that should concern all of us, is the situation with this impeachment. If any black person, black American, can tell me how impeaching a president is going to change the focus of what is being done to black Americans, then you got a right to be involved in that bull crap. If any black college grad, Greek organization, theology pimp who support the Democratic Party, who talk as their minions and talk out of the side of their face to try to get black people to believe that the Democratic Party and all that they do is in the best interest of black America. And that go the same for the Republican Party too. For all you ones who out there want to say that I'm Tomming out. Because my name ain't Jerry and I ain't Tomming out. And this is not a cartoon. This is reality. Where did any time, this is the third time in American history that we done went to the well to get rid of a president through impeachment. And each time that we did, it did not help the betterment of black America. Why are you getting involved in that? Why are you even talking the talking points of people who continue to lie to you year in and year out? And you figure because you agree with them that you progressive, that you evolve from that, excuse the expression, I hate to use it, that nigga they call you. You figure if you agree with them that you have evolved. Okay, he a lot of things. No, I'm not his supporter. I'm the supporter of what he do for my people. Anything that's going to take me out of going the wrong direction, I support of him. I don't have to like you to support you. I don't have to believe in you to support you. I can support your actions. I can stand fast on the things that you're doing to make my life and my children's better. Because at the end of the day, black people fail to understand, and even Barack Obama found out the hard way, that you're a temporary resident in that outhouse, that white shack, that home of defecation. All right? So just like Barack Obama had to go, Mr. Trump gonna have to go. You don't get but 4, and then you get, by the graces of God, 8. But after that, you get no more. So you get heated behind the Democrats' belief that he erases, and if they say it long enough and come up with Freudian crap to draw parallels that you're going to find in your heart, which you already got hate. Can't no black person, even a Christian, tell me he ain't got no hate and displeasure toward white America. If you don't, then you really don't know what's really going on in your surrounding, in your environment, in your country, and in your world. And hate is a very strong word, okay? But I use it because my preachers, the Negro theology pimp, tells me not to use that word. But they use it each and every day in their churches. They hate in the church. They hate the gays. They hate the people who question whether or not the minister is doing right, whether or not he's sleeping with the little girl and molesting the other little children, or stealing from the old lady. That's hatred too. So they're not the ones to tell you or to define hate. These are the same individuals. If you go up to a minister in the black community today and say that there are 2 Bibles, he will fight you tooth and nail to say that it ain't. Because he's not going to say that there's 2 Bibles. He won't say that. All right? Same Bible that put Trump in office. The same Bible that Barack Obama raised his hand, put his hand on the Bible, and swore to uphold the Constitution of the United States. That's the same Bible. That's the white Bible. This is the same Bible that the Democratic Party is going to use to try to impeach Trump. And they have to keep it going, because if they do not keep it going, then you may wake up and find yourself paying attention to Joe Biden and his son and their experts in Europe and in Asia. All right? They're all thieves. That's why they seek this job, to steal from you. They don't do that great of a job that some of them are walking out of there. Joe Biden got $1 billion. And people, the same black people who are telling them, refuse to ask the question is, damn, his son ain't even got a degree, ain't never did a lick of work in this. You got to go through all kind of shit. You understand? It doesn't make any sense. My mama and dad ain't never got me no job that paid me $1 billion. They got a black mayor, they got an African intern who ain't did nothing but be in a parade. He got $95,000 for being an intern. But, you know, they doing something on the side, them too. You know, it ain't a boy-girl thing, it's a boy-boy thing that they doing. And he just got paid for his tricking. And this is a black mayor who did this, who talked white people into doing the same dirtiness that they do. That's why the white people are so willing to do it, because they do it. Stop being naive. Don't let the talking points of ABC, CBS, and NBC, and CNN, and Fox Network confuse you about the real issues of black America. If you listen to the news, and the vast majority of black Americans do not listen to the news anymore, because they do not cover any solutions, anything that is going to fix the problems of black America. They're always talking about how white America is eating its own. They're turning on each other. They're telling on each other. Right? They're trying to hang each other, kill each other. They're trying to do everything, but they ain't trying to solve no problems of this country. At the same time, the Black Congressional Congress, and I'm waiting for them to open their mouth about impeachment. I'm waiting for Maxine Waters and her crew. I ain't talking about that Cortez girl. That ain't her crew. I'm talking about them other black bougie, them 106 black. Because I'm still calling out for them to say something about what's been going on this 20 years. Because, yeah, we're going on 20 years, almost 20 years since they started this wholesale murdering in the street through their police. You understand? 20 years. And in the vernacular of the Caucasian, that's a family tradition. Better ask Hank Williams. He said, it's a family tradition. So don't get it confused. If you want to be concerned, go to Land Show. Go to the Black Authority. Go to the internet. And those are our issues. Those are the problems of black America. And if we're not talking about it, which we are, but white America is not even acknowledging that we're talking about it. And their black minions are doing everything to silence the voices of concern that are going on in black America. So the black minions, please tell me how getting Donald Trump, and I don't mean from the standpoint of you keep calling him racist, all right, because you have yet to show anything that he did racist. Now, he may be a misogynist, and if you know black men are some of the biggest misogynists that you ever seen in your life. Okay? So that's not justified for him being a racist. Him being a racist, telling people to go back to their own cities, that's not racist. Because the same individuals that he told to go back in their cities and fix their cities are in turmoil. So that's not being racist, right? And until they do that, don't just be a bell sheep following people who get paid to tell you what to think. They get paid to tell you and use their color to convince you that you are being morally correct with the Democratic Party and you're keeping all the hopes and dreams of the civil rights movement alive. You're not. If you're not using that thing that's taking up space between your ears and your nose, then you're doing a more injustice to the civil rights movement than helping. And that goes for those in the NAACP. But the NAACP ain't telling you how so many of their branches are being sued for racial discrimination against their own people. NAACP is not telling you how they are some of the biggest misogynists, that they got 9 lawsuits of black women suing the NAACP, the Urban League, and other civil rights organizations for sexual harassment and sexual assault. These are not the people to pay attention to. If he a black politician and he's hooked up with those organizations, then he is not the one to trust. And if you put your trust in him and he don't do shit for him, he don't do shit for you, then you knew that's what you wanted in the beginning. It ain't had nothing to do with the white man stopping you. It ain't had nothing to do with the white man stopping him. Because at any given day, you will find him on the same golf course with that white man. We'll find him on the same Learjet with that white man. We'll find him at the same luncheon with the same level of bodyguards, the same everything as that white man that he hold them seats up in Washington, D.C. with. And if they are so ineffective because the white man keep oppressing them, then what in the hell are they doing there? Maybe we should have a self-evaluation of the 100 Congressional Black Caucus, a CBC, I believe that's what they call it. Yeah, the CBC. We should have maybe Senate hearings on the viability of the Black Congressional Congress, CBC. But you won't hear no black leadership say anything about that. When you talk to any black person who want to be a black politician, oh, I can't promise you nothing. You have to always talk to them. Well, if you can see your way through after you get through finishing master off with his technical in his mouth, that you can come and see about us post-slaves down here at the bottom. You have to pretty much beg them. They tell you right at the top, oh, I need your support so I can go up there and do something for everybody. Not just black people, but for everybody. Right now, the LBG community is using a civil rights law that's been ineffective for us to exercise their rights. And they're going to get their rights. But the same law that we fought for that they're going to use to protect their rights won't protect your rights. What that tell you? That your life is insignificant. So, if having Trump removed from office is going to make everything in black America better because he's the biggest, he's everything that starts all this racism in America, and that if we get rid of him, all the racism and everything in America gonna stop for black America. Because I know that you're not saying, well, we're getting rid of him because he was talking to this foreign agent over here and he threatened this guy to not give him money and if he don't investigate a crook. So black America gotta jump in the bandwagon and jump on the bandwagon right along with the cracker. Yeah, that's what it said. And no, it's not a nice word to say. But only a cracker would believe that black America believe that by impeaching Trump for what they say is going to make our lives better. Then be damn the cracker, be damn the nigger. All right? Because they show trying to send you to hell. and they're going to give you hell while you're here. So please remove yourself from that ignorant discussion. Do not allow those well-educated black rent-skinned minions to convince you that it is part of your moral and American duty to be concerned and get wrapped up in this Trump shit. Cause it ain't got nothing to do with you. When it's all said and done, you're not going to benefit. You're not going to receive anything. Your life is not going to be better. To get involved in it, to post stuff on Facebook and to go around talking about Trump arranged, that's a distraction to keep you away from looking at who is the real problem in black America. All right? Your real problem in black America is that black judge up on that in that Amber Guyver case. The real problem is Maxine Waters and Jackson Lee and how their lives have got so much better as these righteous crusaders, but they won't stand up and say a word about what is being done to black Americans. You can search worldwide on the internet, and Miss Maxine Waters and Miss Lee Jackson Houston, whatever her name is, did not have an opinion about the court case. They supposed to be the leadership, right? Every time the Pumpernickel Doughboy get on the internet, he want to talk about the glorious work of the CBC. Where's the CBC now? Where was the CBC when they killed that boy? And they killed many of our other children. Where were they? They were sitting there with the African neckties on, trying to play pristine. And if you don't have no money for them, you can't even talk to anybody in the Black Congressional Congress. If you're not hooked up with Oprah and her kinfolk, or you don't rap and dance or throw a football, carry the pig skin and carry his water for him, they don't want to talk to you. They don't represent you. They represent themselves and their minions, their class group. That's why they're there. They're not there for you. And as we go and get ready for Black History Month, which is almost 5 months away, be fully aware that those people cared nothing about you. Or they would say something about what is going on in our country. And they're no less a politician than politicians who came before them. When they beat children at the Birmingham Bridge, those elected black politicians spoke up. When they threw a bomb in a church and killed 4 little girls, those black politicians stood up and said something. You know what our black politicians do now? They invest in movies like Selma and Step, because they want you to keep this illusion alive. Because once the Negro see through the clouds, once he sees that these individuals do not care anything about you, and you can justify it in your mind and say, well, if we don't have that black representation up there, then we won't be heard. Dude, I'm acting like Scooby-Doo. I'm acting like Scooby-Doo. You ain't being heard, and they up there. You cannot get any black American to go and debate the worthiness and the necessary need of these black individuals being there. You have a few of them in the last 60 days since they felt the heat on their fire that they losing black Americans' confidence. And they go for the Urban League, they go for the NAACP, they go for the CBC, they go for the Negro colleges, they go for the black churches. They are feeling the heat that they're losing the backing of black America. Their numbers are becoming thin. and the grumblings are becoming loud, and the questions are being asked about their necessary need. Why each and every time the white man has to go to them to deal with you and I? Why they got to go to football players? Why only basketball players and people such as that are allowed to make change, if there is any change at all? Why that when it comes down to grant money that go in the communities that is needed, why it has to be given to the church? Why it has to be given to the black colleges? We've been given to them and their lives have been getting better, but your lives are getting worse. And as this next time go around, they hand out some money, watch them. First thing they gonna do is go to the black colleges and give money to the black colleges. Which, if you're paying attention, all the black colleges are in trouble for mismanagement, embezzlement, and fraud of funds. The organizations which they're tied up with are caught up in multi-billion-dollar lawsuits, from sexual harassment to business, everything. These people are using your color and they're using your ignorance. And they're going to use your ignorance in this case of Trump being impeached. Don't go for it. If I offended anyone with my comments about Miss Guyber, then you kick rocks and go to hell too. All right? Because at the end of the day, no real black American, an Afro-American, but no real black American is going to walk off of that box, go down to her, and give her a hug for killing my kinfolk. Especially when he ain't never did nothing to you. You ain't never met him. You just walked in his house. And because he did not comply to your orders in his house, you shot him dead. And then she admitted on the stand that her purpose was to kill him. What I saw was a bunch of Afro-Americans who were suffering from Munchausen syndrome. That's how I'm dealing with what I saw. Each black person, is up to you to find a way to deal with what you saw. But me, you killed my brother and I ain't seen my brother in over 50 years. You killed my brother, trust what I say to you. The next knock on your door ain't gonna be the Domino Pizza Man. Trust what I say. The next knock on your door will not be the Domino Pizza Man. Now, some say that that's ignorant, barbaric, unchristian-like, heathen-like mentality, all of that. Where you chalk it up, you take your crayon, you write it on the sidewalk. Because you killed my kinfolk. The next knock on your door ain't going to be the Domino Pizza Man. Trust what I say. Now, that's America. That's America. What I saw up there was not America. Did not portray America in any form. And for those who say, well, D, you're wrong, you're not trying to heal, you're not trying to give solution. You know, whatever excuse you feel to disagree with me, you have that right. Okay? But trust what I say to you. Before this year is out, it's going to happen again. Before New Year's, another police officer is going to walk in another person's house and kill them. And they're going to make him the victim. Trust what I say. Okay? Because like Hank Williams said, it's a family tradition. Now, if you don't know what that means, you better listen to the song. The song will clarify any confusion about my state. Hank say, it's a family tradition. All I don't know if this the part where I'm supposed to find a way out of my comments or be overwhelmingly apologetic for my comments, because we're living in that type of society today that you must always be apologetic for what you feel. You must be apologetic for what you see. You even must be apologetic for not finding forgiveness in your heart. I can't. Understanding the circumstances, I can't. But I'm going to respect all those Afro-Americans who can find forgiveness for what that girl did. I'm going to respect your right to be stupid. I'm going to respect your right to be ignorant. And I'm going to respect your right to seek medical attention for the Munchausen syndrome that you suffer from. Because you know what? I'm free. I see it for what it is, and I hope one day that when you turn in your Afro-American skin and become black again, that you'll be able to see it for what it is. But as long as you are dragging that burden, that shameful title of Afro-American around your neck like a bell sheep, then you will never see it the way Black America saw what they saw that day. This is the part where I give much love to all my people out there. And Lance, thank you for giving me a platform to give my views and ideology about
Thank you, brother.
The things that we see. And at any leisure, at any time, I call out throughout near and far to the deepest, darkest holes of the ghettos, which we call our nation. I say to you, if you have a comment, if you have an ill feeling, don't lean upon the Black Bible, because it's all mythical. Don't lean on the White Bible, because it's all doctrine. But lean on Jesus Christ, because that's all you have to lean on. But don't be no Afro-American and walk around like no bell sheep with that title around your neck, because that was not right what you saw. That did not emulate any court of law that Black America is forced to participate in. So this is my comment. This is my feeling. And I'm out. Have a good day.
Take care, my brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I never found myself speechless, but what I saw, it left me speechless. It left me speechless. All right. Good day, good people. Bye-bye.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LANCESCURV.com and follow SCURV on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LANCESCURV.